Galaxy, YouTube and Odyssey. Ruben H, hello. So now today, this evening, we're going to be doing a live stream on the villagers down in Peru, down in the jungle that were attacked by what they would describe as large beings. Now, I've done a few videos like this before on my channel, and I wanted to talk about this because there was the Las Vegas one that me and another gentleman were discussing, another YouTuber. He makes videos also about this type of stuff. I think it's called Untold Stories. He's very awesome guy. I'll put his channel link below so that you guys can what is it called? You guys can check him out. So down in Peru, some villagers were attacked by large aliens, and they grabbed a young girl, and her face is really messed up. I did look on the internet for videos. They were in Spanish or in they were in the language that they speak, which is like a different type of jungle Spanish down there in Peru. Another gentleman that I've been watching, like Timothy Alberino, I think his name is. I just finished watching his live stream ahead. Now, he's familiar with that area down in Peru, and he's been down there before, so a lot of the area he was able to recognize. I'll make sure that I put that down below. It's an hour-long video. He speaks with another person about it. They just recently finished a live stream, I think it was like a couple of days ago, because this attack that happened on these villagers was about 4 days ago. Now that the translations are getting out there, people are able to go and talk about it and see what's going on. So that's what we're here to discuss tonight. Welcome to the Adventures Guide to the Galaxy, YouTube and Odyssey. Thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to like the video, because of course they're going to demonetize and start to hate on videos like this unless you go very hard into make sure you know what you're talking about. So, what are we talking about today? Like I just mentioned, down in Peru and in South America in general, there are a lot of really strange and very scary cryptid stories, UFOs, aliens, extraterrestrials, all different types of things, ghosts, and a lot of people that I know are from there. Telling Stewart, hello everybody, welcome. Telling Stewart is in the chat. Good evening, Adventures Guide to the Galaxy. Welcome, welcome. Good friend of mine, she's amazing. I was going to give tarot card reading one day. So, today we're talking about basically, actually in South America, good evening chat, there's an attack that just happened. I was letting her know, telling Stewart, an attack on aliens or large beings attacked these villagers down south. Now, this isn't something that's new, okay? A lot of people, I remember hearing like, oh, how come, only the United States has UFOs or certain other places? A lot of places have UFOs, right? But a lot of places don't have cell phones or like technology. Like just because there's a major city in your country or like hundreds or thousands of miles from where you live, you know what I mean, doesn't mean that you necessarily have what's that most advanced technology there. Like I said, I live out in the country, you know what I mean? This behind this door goes to like the forest, you know what I mean? So every time I hear a noise, you'll see me open the door looking around, because I don't want anybody or any type of weird stuff going on. I've seen some weird stuff now. So basically all through South America and a lot of different places, even in Mexico, like a lot of areas, there's very weird and scary things going on. Now in Peru, for this video, of villagers, I can't remember I will put also in the description where the actual name of the village is, because it's in this mountainous region. It's in the jungle by a river. They were attacked by these, what many villagers would describe as 7-foot tall beings that, like I said, in the the thumbnail of this video, I put the Green Goblin and I put Predator from the Hulu's Prey movie, right? The Yautjas, they're called. Very scary looking creatures, very powerful, hunting people, and then there's the Green Goblin. He's floating around doing stuff. Now, why would I put those specific things in there? There's a couple key things that happened in this particular incident and the couple of days before this that had been happening and some of the villagers have been describing about, and some things that I've heard multiple times in my travels. Real life. This isn't, okay, real life. This isn't like some type of, story or some type of, you're telling all this, like I said, take it or leave it, whatever you want. Some of the things that happen to these villagers are some of the things that I've personally seen or heard of in real life as I've been traveling. I was in the military. I lived in Japan. We went to a couple of different places. One of the things I did, I played football, and I was playing football with a gentleman. He was in the Army. He was an Army Ranger, different type of career. We were talking one day. I like this helmet. So I talked about the helmet with him, and he was like, hey, man, you want to hear a story? We talked about some stories back and forth, and he talked about when he went to South America. He went to this country in South America, like somewhere near Peru. I'm not going to say where it was. And he was with the local partner force and like, hey, look, we need to go out to this place in the jungle. We don't really feel comfortable going out there, but hey, you're an Army Ranger from the United States of America. You guys got some people. We could do a patrol through here because normally we wouldn't. So they go through this area, and what does he see? He sees, okay, maybe it's the rebels that live in this area, maybe it's something else. He sees people that are, I don't want to make this too graphic, that are some people who are now deceased, but they are displayed in a way that is very grotesque and scary to make you not want to go in this area. So you'll come upon these people and they look up and they see some very graphic stuff. Now that what he described was just like in the movie Predator, like the 1980s, I believe it was 86 or 87 movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they're, Predator, they're going through the jungles in South America because, they weren't told why, and they look up and they see these people that have been deceased, or one of the people they were looking for, in a tree hanging upside down by his feet, and you can tell that he doesn't have any more of the skin upon him anymore. It's a very gruesome scene. Now, that is what my friend described when he went down there, and I was like, wow, that's very ridiculous, because it had to have been in like the early 2000s that he had done this, right? Because it was 2012 when I was talking to him. So, I was like, okay, that's, because like I said, we're playing football, we're doing, stuff, we're, getting, gas. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's pretty intense. Yeah, I guess that's that's where they got it from. And then, a couple of years later, I would, who was I listening to? I was listening to, I think it was Semi-Agog with Tim Rudisil and Ollie, right? It's a show on YouTube, and they're talking about how down in those areas in South America, Central South America, that type of thing happens. So this is like the third time I've heard about this from the movie. My friend who's an Army Ranger, Tim Rudisil, rest in peace, Tim has passed away. Ollie's still here carrying it on today. About this specific type of, how they, when they're, when someone has passed away because they did this to a person, whether they went in their territory, whether it's the aliens we're talking about, this is what happens. And so in the movie, you see that. In real life, you see that. I've heard that from somebody in real life. And then there's documentaries, you hear about it, and then you're saying, well, what is going on? Like, why is this specific type of thing? Because in the movie, the things that happen in the movie, how they were removed of their facial skin, is exactly what happened in this Peru village that we had just heard in this video about that I'll put down below, and that's been going on. Now, I watched a bunch of videos, right, of all the villagers. They started shooting at it because, like I said, they're indigenous people that live out in the jungle. It's very deep in the jungle. It's like I said, it's like you wouldn't normally go out there, right? And like I said, a lot of people don't have the newest iPhones. It's not New York City. It's not the city where you live. It's not, oh, mommy, daddy, I want the newest iPhone. It's Chinese knockoff or whatever type of phone they can get. That's when they're taking a video of the alien, or let's say the person who they found that was, you know what I'm saying? That's why it looked kind of grainy. But when they get close and they stop, you can say, wow, even if I had a phone, you can't CGI with an old fake Chinese or, old Korean or whatever type of phone that you have. An old iPhone, it's very hard. I'm going to take a page from Thinker Thunker, who's another really good YouTuber, and he had a rant about CGI. When someone says, oh, this or that, there's certain videos you can tell, they have to be above a certain, quality to be able to CGI a video. Certain other videos that are a little grainy and hard, if you see something weird, it's a little bit harder to tell. Now, that's not necessarily true for all of them. I've done a video of like Bigfoot sightings and things like that, and it's a very clear video. And when you can see the actual shag of the fur of the thing, it's standing there clear as day. There is no other animal that looks and has that specific fur and has like a straight shoulder shape standing behind a tree. Very clear footage. Gulf Island Rock, I've done it on my channel. Shout out to them for letting me review their footage. And again, it's also when you have somebody who doesn't record alien video, because like I said, if it's one of these things where if you're out looking for the thing, then it's very rare that you're going to find it, especially if it's like an intelligence type of thing and you're looking for it. Like maybe animals, like I said, even animals can tell when they're being followed, or, when they have some weird sense. You as a person, sorry, it's a little hot in here because I got all these lights on and this is like a garage, right? You as a person, you can feel when you're like, okay, something doesn't feel right. Maybe you don't see it. Maybe you don't see anything. Maybe you just feel something. And maybe your feelings were right and you got away, and therefore you didn't see it because you felt something and you left. Like I said, there's a lot of different things you don't have to think about. But when you're going, like I said, if you're a Peruvian villager, if you're a person in South America where there is no police, I mean, they're far away, or there is no like camera, there's no news crew, there's no like giant CNN, Fox News, MSNBC to come spin the story out of your life, so you can't even say anything. Maybe you don't live around where all that type of stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you live in the middle of nowhere, and if something weird comes around, That's just some weird coming around. What are you going to do? You don't have a phone. That's just you getting got. So they have these phones and they're taking the video, and like I said, a lot of times I've went through millions of videos all the time, millions of videos my entire YouTube career for almost since 2010. So it's been like 13 years of just going through every video I could possibly ever find whenever I have the chance, if not working and doing other things. And there are a good percentage of videos that you cannot fake. Like it's very, like I said, back to my Thinker Thunker, he's a guy on YouTube, his point, it is very hard to CGI something. It's very difficult. Now, for somebody who has no idea how to CGI, has no idea about any of this stuff, to then say, oh, this is, that's CGI, you'd have to know exactly how they did it and tell me how they did it and then debunk it and disprove it. Again, it isn't too hard. A lot of the AI stuff, you can make a lot of stuff today with AI, but even better is a lot of stuff with AI, you can easily debunk it. Now, they've had it for years, but now it's like with the whole AI talk, it's getting more popular. They have programs where you can put stuff into it. They have programs where you can put stuff in a picture or a video into the program, and it will tell you if it was manipulated. They've had that for years. Again, back 2015 and all the whole election and all that crazy stuff, a lot of 4chan and a lot of people on the internet, this is the type of stuff that they do. They're looking for this type of stuff. It's not political, whatever. All that stuff's over here. There are people who just care about this type of stuff. You know what I mean? So, so again, you would have to be really good at CGI to CGI a fake thing with an old phone and then travel to an actual location in the middle of the jungle in Amazon and then give it to those people and do this whole huge hoax. Trust me, they got lots of other ways to do hoaxes and stuff. That's not it. So it says, do you think aliens are coming to the United States? My opinion is that aliens are already here and they've been here for the long time. Because like I said, it's not that like, oh, aliens discovered Earth. Like I said, a lot of people, they're not really familiar with, the whole history of the United States. So like I said, what's to say that they've been here the whole time? One of the things in the video that I was just watching was I'll get back to the South America thing in a second. So here in America, out west, out in the west portion of the United States, they have this place in New Mexico. It's called the Dulce military base. It's a lot of people know about it. It's a huge deal. Look at this, a Dulce, DULCE military base. It's a huge underground base, and a lot of people who've worked there, they've came out, they said, hey, believe me, whatever you want. Huge underground base. They're kidnapping people. They're doing experiments. This is where a lot of the weird stuff that's out in the world, that all the narrative and all the stuff steering society is coming from, is one of these bases. They have all this weird stuff going on. And the way they found it is in the 1960s, they were trying to they build stuff all over the place, right? And in this one area, they're like, this looks like a really good place to build a base. So the government was building, and then they had this technology. No, they contracted people out. There's a gentleman in a video. I'll try to find the video and then post that down below as well. He was a government contractor. He worked for them, and he talked about how the government knew there was something over there. That's why they wanted them to go and build, but they didn't tell them what it was. So they used this machine. They're building this giant tunnel, and they burst into this cavern, this underground cavern that's already there. And all this black smoke and all this just stuff pours out. They're like, oh my God. And then what happened was a bunch of little small gray aliens with big heads come out and a couple large ones. And the guys are like, oh my God. And there's a couple of army contractors there. And from what I was told, the ensuing confusion, the aliens were they were like, oh snap, that they had been there for a long time. This is 1966 or 1967, I believe. I believe almost 70 contractors, 70 U.S. Army, government contractors, military, Green Beret, Black Beret, that's what they said. They were killed because these aliens, they just zapped them and did all this stuff. A guy ended up shooting a couple of the aliens. Like, they're small, they are real, they will die. And the guy who was explaining this, his hand, his face, it was pretty messed up. Like, his toes got blown off, and in the video he's talking, he doesn't have any fingers, and his hands are they look really messed up. Like I said, he got zapped. It's a huge thing. Like I said, it's one of those things that's a really good documentary, stuff they don't put on TV now. Of course they'll put on some stuff in the news. Oh, this is all fake. But like I said, that's one of those things that aliens have been here for a long time. Because like I said, people in the United States of America, the school system teaches very little. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm telling Stuart, she knows that she's you're a teacher, you're very smart, and that's one of those things that I've been researching and learning about. Is that the government, they're only a few years ahead of us in terms of learning all this stuff. Because as they find stuff out, it's just like they're keeping it for themselves. But some people, again, even in the most tight-lipped community and country, government, whatever, people are going to run their mouth. Like I said, so But like I said, it's not like against the law. We're not going for violence or anything like that. So back to Peru. So in Peru, the villagers, they see these, again, now we've talked about aliens, we talked about you've seen it before, we talked about you've heard it before, we talked about I've heard it before, lots of people that have said this, and all these things come together. In Peru, they have this thing called a pelecaras. It's called a pelecaras. Like it's Spanish for face peeler. That's what I have to get the correct spelling of it. The pelecaras, face peeler. That's what these people in this village call it. That's exactly what happens in the movie. That's exactly what my friend said. That's exactly what these documentaries said, and that's where even the cartels and some of those groups, that's where they get it from. But like that takes a long time. Like even some of the most ridiculous cartel violence stories I've ever heard, they've went to some ridiculous lengths. They don't go to that length. That's why even the people who my friend was patrolling with down in this country, they were like, "Hey, look, we're gonna go in this area. We don't want to go here." And he's like, "Is it the rebel territory?" And there's like, "No, it's a place that nobody even goes." If the rebels who do all that crazy stuff to try to mimic this, who wouldn't go that far, if even they wouldn't go there, and they say, "Hey, U.S. military, you go here," and like I said in the movie, remember, what did he do? They were walking and they looked up and they said, "Oh my God, that's the guy that they're looking for," and they pull him down and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so gruesome." That's what's happening down there. That's what these villagers are even saying, exactly what they're saying happened to their people that go around, that go missing, and they find them, right? Now, again, I'm trying to explain it in this like over the top ridiculous way so that I'm not trying to, have like an overly gruesome video, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to just explain what it is. So there's another video, in this gentleman's video, this guy, Timothy, he and another podcaster or a YouTube person, they're talking about some of the villagers. They had these, like I said, I told you about the phones, right? They have these like old Samsung phones because that's what they can get down there. They're showing a video of the police pulling someone out of the river who is deceased, and he has been face peeled. Now, you can see it pretty clearly that if you've seen movies, if you've been in sets and doing all this stuff, you're like, okay, let's say that this is a fake. Let's say this is a body. Let's say this is some AI, some this or some that. You would have to, number one, be a hoaxer, go down and hoax or do all that stuff. Or number two, that'd have to be a scene from a movie when they were, doing it. So I'm still waiting for that. I haven't seen any of that. Or number three, let's say it was real. So this person has been face peeled. And what I saw from this video that this person was showing, it was gruesome. And it was so gruesome that it wasn't even bad, because it was like looking at one of those skeletons that you see in an anatomy class. That's how high-tech this device, that whatever they were using, did. And it went to a certain portion where then it went back to the person's regular hair. I have never seen anything like this in my life, except for when you see cattle abductions and mutilations, when people talk about UFO sightings in the United States of America or anywhere else. It's the same type of technology, but different types of beings, I guess you would say, right? That was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. Again, right here, entire skeleton, face completely gone, and then back here, regular hair. These cops were pulling this person out of the river, and that's what happened. That's what we're talking about, right? Like right here, skeleton face, and then right here is regular hair. The cops pulled this person out of the river. They used banana leaves to conceal this person. And this was the people in the village. Now, this is the one village. This is a video of the person in the village showing you what they had seen during the day, because this was a daytime shot. And then the next one, was the villagers when they see one of the beings standing on top of the house looking down at them. They're shining a flashlight. The dogs are barking at it. It's all around. You can see it. And then they're all standing around yelling. The dogs like, "Hey, get the dogs inside." They don't want to get the dogs taken. And another video, they see it up on a roof or something, and I can't see because it's really dark, and the guy's walking with a bunch of people, gunshots. You can hear a lot of gunshots going off. You can hear them shooting, and I know what real gunshots sound like. It's not fireworks. That's what's happening. And then the villagers coming down explain a young girl, her face was slashed because I guess one of the creatures tried to grab at her, and that's when they started shooting and then slashing with whatever they had. And this is where it comes to he says it looked like the Green Goblin. Now he comes and he's explaining to the news person. He's like, oh my God, it looked like that old, remember, because a lot of these places are a little bit behind on their movie references. Because like I said, even in Europe, a lot of the older movies are still very popular in Europe and a lot of these countries. Because like I said, America comes out with stuff very fast. It takes time to translate and get it down there. So if you've ever seen the Spider-Man movie, like the original Spider-Man with, I guess, Tobey Maguire, the Green Goblin, I think it was, I don't know who played the Green Goblin, but that's what he said the alien looked like. He said it looked like the Green Goblin, and that's what grabbed the girl and slashed her face. Like that's, like I said, I saw the video of the girl sitting on the couch, and her face was bleeding, and they were talking to her, the news person, and like I said in the thumbnail, the Peruvian government and all these, police departments, military, they're not treating this as a joke because people were actually harmed. They shot bullets, like bullets were exchanged, so they have to write reports, if whatever, and people were hurt. They dragged a person out of the river. Okay, that person was completely just, yeah, skeleton up here, regular down here. Okay, and I seen the video. It was unbelievable. Like I said, this is what people are. That's what they call it, the pelecadas, the face peeler. The people call it that. They've been calling that for years. In the movie Predator, like I said, that's what's happening in that same area that the movie's made about. My friend was an Army Ranger. They patrolled down there years ago before YouTube and any of this stuff, and he told me about it. And while we were in the military, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah. Just went on, didn't think about it, because he was like, but the thing is, when he was telling me the story, I could see the look on his face. Like, when someone's retelling a story, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, and it was great. And they're like, looking, it was great, like this. Or they're like trying to remember something, and they'll go like this. He didn't have that look on his face. He was like this. He was like, oh, yeah. Because we were playing football, right? It's football practice. He took his helmet off. We're doing whatever. This is the Marine Corps, right? And he was explaining this part of the story where he went on this patrol in the jungle and seen the guy face peeled upside down in a tree, like the Predator movie. And he was explaining, he's like, I saw that. He was like, oh. I was like, dude, are you okay? He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, let's get back to the thing. We started playing football. Again, I didn't think about it. Whatever. It could be rebels, cartels, whatever. But over the time when YouTube videos come out and stuff, you see a lot of the cartel violence. You see all this stuff. You're like, I've seen some pretty wild cartel violence. Never seen it go that far. Like, I've seen some pretty wild stuff. Even ISIS and all this other stuff. That, it doesn't even go that far. Okay? And I'm not the type of person to sit there and try to watch people, some extremely, like, people watch movies like Saw and all the horrible movies and all that stuff, and like in real life snuff films. I don't just go around watching snuff films, but if somebody's attacked by an alien or something ridiculous, or there's something very serious is happening, you need to like watch news clips and do like serious journalism. That's what I consider this to be a part of, right? And so when you see the serious stuff, you're like, wow, this is, especially if you only have the serious stuff that's necessary and you're looking through, you're like, wow, this is very serious, right? Here they go. Face peel 1, face peel 2, face peel 3. That's why they have this name down in South America. And actually, it's like, even in a bunch of different places, right? L.A. Marzulli, another fantastic YouTuber, researcher, a fantastic person. He goes down to South America. He does UFO videos. He does research. He does archaeology. He does a lot of amazing videos, books, movies. Fantastic guy, really nice. He went down to South America, and he had people telling him the same thing. Hey, look, there's some like extraterrestrials, some really weird stuff going on down here. So it's like a reoccurring theme in South America from every type of source you can imagine of extraterrestrials or something, right, in the jungle that looks like the Green Goblin or a predator. Like I said, the Yautja from the movie Predator, Alien vs. Predator, the Hulu's Prey movie, Predators, The Predator, Predator 2, with Danny Glover, like that Yautja, that's what they're called. The lore, they're called the Yautja, right? That's the race of people. They have a mask on, the glowing eyes. The reason why I say that is because second thing is that one of the other villagers described it like that, because when he takes his gun and he shoots at it, the shotgun, he says one of them, it wasn't effective, he had like silver armor on. It's like the Green Goblin, like the type of armor, except instead of green, it was silver. And it like hit him and like reflected a little bit, and like they let go of the girl. And he said that it disappeared. Like, you could still see it, but it was like the cloaked, right? Like the Predator, he'll kind of cloak, but you can still see it. In a lot of popular video games, they have this thing. In StarCraft, they have the cloak. It's all different types of stuff. I believe in Halo and a lot of different types of games, they have this cloaking feature. It's not completely invisible, but you can still kind of see it, right? In a lot of the videos and stories, like I said, I'm a different type of person. This really interests me, right? There are types of videos on YouTube that you can listen to. It's called, again, when you have the little, this way, parentheses, like the little slash, like this. There's 2 slashes, and in the middle there's an X, right? /X/. It's a type of video that people on the internet and 4chan, it's a website where people go and do weird stuff like just doing funny jokes and pranks or whatever. They have stories of, okay, it's an all anonymous board, and they say, this area is for stories that have happened to you that you believe to be real, and you're trying to be honest, and we're taking it at a grain of salt. Obviously, there's feds, and some people do fake stuff. But a lot of stories that I've heard on there, very specific ones, because I've listened to about 1,000 or so over the years, I've heard and seen some of these very specific things myself. That's why we go there and you converse with people, and it's on YouTube as well, /x/. Cloaked being is a very specific category that someone says, I saw a cloaked being. Now, some people will be walking and doing whatever. And like I said, I don't do drugs. I don't be like, I don't do like heroin or coke or, all this other stuff. But if you're sitting there and you're a grown adult, you're in your house, minding your own business, and you can see something out of the corner of your eye, and you look and you're like, I know I saw something there. A lot of people in a lot of different places see the same thing. Cloaked being, that's what the villager said he saw. He shoots at this being that's in the village, and as soon as he shoots, I don't know if he misses or hit it, it cloaked instantly, but he could still see it kind of moving because he was in the jungle, in the trees. They're in a village way up in the Amazon by a river, okay? That's what he says. He's a regular guy. He doesn't have flashy clothes. He's a village chief leader. He's talking to the news person. He's talking to the police officer and another military gentleman with a gun, and that's what he's saying. Because remember, these people are taking it serious. They're not trying to troll Americans. They're not like, oh, here's my PayPal or anything like that. They're like, wait, what's going on over there? They have the gun like this. A cloaked being? What does it look like? Okay, because they're about to go out into that, and they're about to go try to go and deal with that. Now, people will say, oh, what if this is another person pranking them? Or what if this is a whatever? They would just get shot. Who wants to just get shot for no reason? Okay. After, what is it? I don't remember what year it was. I want to say it's 2016 or 2017 in the United States of America. Have you seen anybody really doing pranks anymore? Do you see anybody doing like jump out and like, woo, like crazy pranks anymore? No, because people don't play that game anymore. It's a different type of world. There's too much going on. You try to prank somebody, unless you're in a country where there's no guns or there's like completely no weapons or whatever, doing jump out pranks like that. Maybe in some European countries, I do still see pranks every now and then for certain types, but like pranks are not funny anymore. Like not like that. So like I said, there's rebels, loggers, drug traffickers, all types of stuff that live out in these jungles and stuff. These people in these villages, they interact with all different types of people all the time. They would know if it was another person. They said it was a 7-foot tall person, so already you'd have to go find the tallest person in the earth, dress them up in some ridiculous costume, and then tell them to go mess with somebody who will 100% shoot them if you scare the crap out of them in the middle of the night on top of a roof doing all this other stuff. Like I said, that's what you would have to do, and it would have to be for zero clout, because remember, this is in the middle of the Amazon, and this is 4 days ago. Gunfire was exchanged, military showed up and all this stuff, and it's still happening, like I said. Also, like the Las Vegas incident here in Las Vegas a couple of weeks, maybe like a month and a half ago, it was the same type of thing where some ridiculous, again, I was going to do a video about this, but my computer is just being it's not being happy right now. A large flash, like 2 happened a week before, and then the one that I'm talking about, a large flash happened, and something landed in these people's backyard. I shared the video on my channel, and this young family, they went and recorded some stuff. It was really wild, and the police came, a bunch of police officers, they saw it too, body cam saw it, the news camera saw it, ring camera saw it, all these different coordinations, things happened. The police officer went there, and he's like, hey, y'all on your own, I'm scared. And he literally left, on camera, on the internet, I don't care. The news people came from in the United States of America out in Las Vegas. One of the newscasters invited on this guy who is a government agent who investigates UFO crashes. He's a government contractor, whatever. He drives a big black Escalade, and he was like, yeah, I sat outside their house, and I was looking to see what was going on. And then the people, before they heard the news story, they're like, oh my God, there's people in black SUVs sitting outside my house. I'm getting out of here. All kinds of stuff started happening, right? People were a couple other people who were in that neighborhood said, we saw these really tall beings walking around the neighborhood in the middle of the night. Like I said, it's Las Vegas, right? Right? A suburb of Las Vegas. It ain't that dark at night, okay? You can clearly see someone standing in the middle of the street. You have ring cameras street lights. This is the United States of America. This is a place that's America AF that you were talking about. People were like, yeah, okay, the news is like, hey, what's going on? A bunch of people came over to the cops like, yeah, I just seen a 7-foot tall dude walking through the street, and there was another one standing on the roof, and they were like, what did you do? He's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, I crapped my pants. Like, why didn't you get a phone? How long does it take you to pull your phone out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I said, you unlock the phone, you do the code, then you go to the app. Like I said, if you see something that's like that right there, it's like after 1 second, you're froze. You're done. Like, you're not moving, okay? Unless you're like a person like me who's like completely paranoid about aliens and stuff. I'm going to get you. Like I said, okay, whatever. Unless you're already ready like this, and like I said, if you're an alien, you came from another universe, you could probably see, oh, look, the human's got his phone ready. Don't get recorded because then they're going to shoot us, okay? Like, they're smart enough to come all the way from all these other galaxies, but you think that they wouldn't think, oh, I'm finna get shot. Of course they would think that. They obviously know because they've seen humans for a long time and like, wow, they have this thing called guns. They really hurt. Yeah. So they know, obviously, they have weapons. They have lasers, whatever they have, okay? So again, that happened in Las Vegas, right? And there was multiple different people who don't know each other. They didn't ask. A bunch of people put these videos together. I put a bunch together of people looking and saying, oh my God, look at this. There's video. They go in the backyard. This gentleman, he owns a construction business, has a lot of tractors in his backyard. The aliens were standing next to a tractor. One of them was in it playing with the little things, and you could clearly see the heads, the eyes or whatever. And again, the proportions, a human could not fit. Humans are big, chunky, fat. Like I said, a lot of y'all think that someone would be wearing an alien costume. Like I said, if a person's wearing an alien costume, they probably don't mind you coming up to them, because that's the whole point of them wearing the costume. They're trying to, like, ooh, look at this. If there's somebody in the alien costume, they're sneaking around and you can see them, like, what the hell? And they're very skinny, with a bit, you know what I mean? Like, this is a robot. Again, you'd have to be able to really good CGI this, or let people on the internet tear it up. They're going to tear it up and going to look at it. Hey, no big deal. Like I said, and they weren't hiding anything. They were like, here's the video, here it is, here's all the stuff, here's this. I'm scared. They're not killers, they're not gangsters. They're just a nice Hispanic family that just wants to do construction, live in Las Vegas. They're not trying to be like super famous internet alien, this and that. They have like a couple of videos on their channel. It's just regular other stuff. And that's what gets it right there. For me. They've got lots of videos doing family and other stuff, and then they have one video of, oh my God, what is this? And they go back to whatever. That's what is another sign that you can tell that this is a very serious thing, right? So again, back to South America, a lot of different areas down there, they have these stories of really crazy stuff. Now, in /x/, it led me to a bunch of other different types of things. Another gentleman that I actually have a lot of respect for, his name is Stephen Benoon. He runs a Fact News Network, or Israeli News Live, over in YouTube here. Now, he does videos about politics, aliens, all kinds of stuff, right? Wars and stuff. Very smart guy. I met him back in 2017. He did a conference here in Orlando. Really smart guy. So this is a real person that I met. I met this person, real guy. He did a video, I want to say like 8 months ago, talking about this 3-letter agency approached President Joe Biden and said, hey, one of our programs went off the rails. We need to go take care of it. We need extra money and this stuff. And I was like, that sounds a little weird. So I listened to the video. I'll see if I can find it. I have to rewatch this, and then I'll find that video on his channel. If he still has it, and I'll put it below. And what he said was, they were doing the MIT program that they had back in the 70s and 80s to splice 2 different creatures, like a human and a spider, or a monkey and a fish, or whatever. They said that a couple of them, I guess they did like a human and a wolf and a person and a bear kind of thing. They said, in his video, this is what he said, this isn't me, that this program got out of control and we need to go take care of this. Now, that does not sound like something that you would want to hear, especially if you're like, well, is this near a population center where somebody could possibly get hurt? You know what they would probably say? It might be, but, we could just spin it. We have the news. We'll just talk about Trump, and then everyone, and then, like I said, there could be literally werewolves running around, annihilating people, and you guys would be like, I don't care, because you see Trump. And then, like I said, y'all ain't gonna make it. If you're like, well, I see that, but Trump, you have already, here's the hook, here's you as a fish. You already took the bait. You're done. Like you're not gonna make it, and I'm sorry. Hopefully, me saying that will pull you out of it. But hey, like I said, back to the video. He says that we have a couple of these projects that we made. They're going out of control. We have to go take care of this. So that happened. Was it in a national park? Because that's usually where they are. Now, a lot of people in outside of the United States don't know how big the national parks inside of America are. If you look, let me take a breath here. If you look, a lot of the people who go missing in the United States is in or around national parks, like in the direct vicinity or in there. They're very large. Put that together with the guys who went to Joe Biden, these three-letter agency gentlemen. Sorry, it's hot in here. I don't want to turn the air conditioning on because I want you guys to hear what I'm saying. Going to say, hey, look, we got this program, this laboratory. We got to take care of some stuff. We oopsied and we got to go boopsy. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what they said. They paid a lot of some extra money. They went and took care of it. Back to South America, a lot of stories that I've heard where the U.S. government or special forces people, they're sent to go on a patrol, just like in the movie Predator. They don't tell them they're going to go and deal with something, whether it's something that extraterrestrials that are coming to abduct people, because like I said, abduction stories are real, very serious, or is it the U.S. government making something? Maybe they're battling aliens, maybe because they already got their butt kicked, or I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, you're as a special forces person, the Sean Ryan show, they have a lot of these people talking about this stuff, and they're like, hey, look, man, say what you want, but a lot of special forces people or people who sign certain types of contracts or sign they get to, hey, go over here. We got we got an issue going on here. Train for all this stuff, but we're just going to put, no, don't worry. Go right over there. And then a lot of special forces guys, like my friend, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, look, man, we're just going to play some football. He was a beast, man. He was a beast. He played fullback, and he had a really nice helmet. That guy was, follow him, go through anywhere. But like I said, it's a reoccurring theme over and over and over again about, wow, this is weird. Wow, this is weird. And the only place you can find to where you're not supposed to believe or hearing this stuff is the mainstream official news and academia, some places in America that are prestigious. And the only reason why you listen to them is because a bunch of cool people who you like listen to them, or you're supposed to like, they're doing that, right? And everybody wants to believe or be cool, and they say, okay, well, we'll take your paycheck away if you start believing in weird stuff. But to everybody else in the world who isn't grown up in like a super privileged, like hyper upper, I want to be cool society, which is most people in the world, they see something weird, go like, wow, that's unbelievable. I know what every animal, because me and my ancestors have lived here for all these years, I know what every animal, that ain't that. That animal don't come in riding some stuff like that. So again, the reason why I put Green Goblin on the cover is because one of the other things the guy said he did is that they were on the roof, and when they're shooting at him, the one guy cloaked and the other guy ran, and here's the roof, and he ran and walked on air because he said that there was like little discs under his feet. Now, if you've ever played, there's a video game, it's a very old game, it's called, in video game terms, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. There's these boots that you can put on, and I think you can walk, after this is a cliff, you can walk like 10 steps off of a cliff, and there will be little discs under your feet, as if you're walking on an invisible glass thing that's there, but it only steps up and lights as your foot goes like this and it goes away. That's exactly what this gentleman, this villager, said he saw after he was shooting at this thing and tried to grab it. It actually did lacerate and grab his daughter and killed another person. That's what he said it did. It ran off the thing with a little disc. It said instead of being white, like in the video game, they were red. And I don't know if they disappeared or not. Maybe they stayed on the bottom of his foot. But that's pretty much what I got from the video. A lot of the information, like I said, you can go. It's very hard because if you live in the United States of America or any, like, you know, very, like first world-ish type of country, they throw so much crap in front of you, so all your search results always find some really wild stuff. But in a lot of other countries, it's not in English, so if you were able to find a link over to like a different type of YouTube or a different type of whatever, not like going to dark web or anything illegal, you can find lots of videos. Like I find one, video that's in Spanish, you can find all the other ones. One video's in Japanese, you can find all the other ones. So like I said, definitely check this out. When I have the time, I will put all this stuff in the link below. Because like I said, I gotta go do a bunch of things. It's really hot in here. I gotta do that. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you all had a really great time. Like the video, share the video with your friends, get the conversation started. I'm trying to break the algorithm because they're killing me here. Like I said, I've been getting censored for years and years and years, but we're back. I don't care. You're not gonna do it. Me and my friend Alex lost 3 channels. Hey, it is what it is, man. He's still doing his thing. I'm still doing my thing. Hey, can't stop it. So like I said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you're going to be watching this video afterwards. And I'll have all the links that I can once I remember to watch this video and remember to go through all the things. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Watch out for cloaked beings and don't be a sucker. They're looking for you.